Hey, what up? It's Khalil with Sales Story Ninja, and I'm going to be sharing with you about how I started Affiliate Cash Framework. So go ahead, check it out. Have an awesome day. Aloha.
Aloha! Follow me as I share with you what I learned back on the sales line. I'm Khalil McCabe, and this is Sales Story Ninja.
Hey, what up? It's Khalil, and I am excited to be out here today. It's actually my second take of doing this because the first time I did it, I was boring, and so I didn't want to be boring the second time. So I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited because in two days, there's going to be a launch of the product that we're putting together. I'm really excited about the Affiliate Cash Framework, the affiliate marketing training designed to get people to take all the things that I learned and model to be able to make money online. Pretty simply, I just had a friend of mine reach out to me, somebody I've known for a long time. They're really excited for it to come out. So I want to kind of tell you guys today how my journey started. Like, what is it exactly that I had to do? Like, how did Affiliate Cash Framework come to be? And it's raining where I'm at, so I'm gonna get myself out of the rain really, really quick, just so I can have this conversation. The problem is, I didn't want to do this indoors because when I was indoors, I got really boring because I was sitting down. So I'm gonna be out here talking. I hope you guys enjoy your time real quick with me. So have my notes here. But the biggest thing, man, I know for me, like, I was working, at my job, and I loved my job. I was a sales trainer, doing really well, but I worked in the travel industry. And the toughest thing about working in the travel industry right now with the coronavirus is nobody's allowed to travel. Especially where I live right now, they actually have a travel ban. So you can't, like, even if you were to arrive, like, you can't, what is the word? You can't, they won't even let you get out of your room for 14 days. So there's not going to be a lot of people traveling. And even if they do come, they can't interact with us. So we can't make any sales that way. I work in the timeshare industry. And so for me, while I was working, here's where the crazy part was. While I was working, I remember getting on the phone. I was driving home one day from work, and my wife kind of a little bit panicked, with this is like at the beginning of the Corona thing. When it first started, sorry, I'm not the best camera guy. Whoa, I'm not the best camera guy. I'm trying to do side effects with this, but it's not working. But the idea is, I was talking to my wife, and she's not looked at me, but we're on the phone, and she goes, Khalil, do you realize our daughter's high risk? And I said, what? What do you mean? Again, with this whole Corona thing, I didn't really understand what high risk was. And for those who don't know, like, coronavirus, like, it affects your respiratory system. And because it affects your respiratory system, like, people that have a hard time breathing, like my daughter, my oldest daughter, she's special needs, and she has a hard time breathing. And she goes, so she can't catch it. I said, yeah, I'm not going to give it to her. She goes, no, you don't understand. You're with tourists all day long. You're sitting with them every single day. You're interacting with them. You're touching them. You're talking to them. I can't have you by us. I said, what do you mean? She goes, when you come home, you're going to isolate yourself. You're going to bathe yourself. You're going to isolate yourself in your room. I'll bring you food. But even when it's time for bed, I'm going to sleep with the girls because I can't get sick. I can't afford to. And I was just like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean you can't be with me? She goes, I can't risk our daughter getting sick. I can't risk it because if she gets sick, she's not one that's going to recover really easily because she has a hard time breathing. And my heart sank. It wasn't that I might get my kids sick or I was in a tough spot. It's the fact that the people I cared about the most, my wife and my kids, like, I wouldn't be able to have the connection with them. I couldn't connect back with them because I was so, what is the word? Afraid of hurting the people I care about. I can't really explain, but if you guys can understand where I'm coming from, there's a sense of, oh my God, I'm going to be the one responsible for the people I care about not being around. And I won't even be able to connect with them even if I am around. And so that really took a lot of frustration from me. Not from me, but that built up a lot of frustration inside of me. And so I remember the next day I went and talked with my boss, and we had a discussion, and we'd figured out that I need to figure out a way to stay away from the floor because I can't affect my family. And I appreciate my boss, like, best boss that I've ever had. Like, he's like, dude, go ahead, go do that. But in the meantime, I figured if this thing gets worse, what's going to happen? How am I going to do it? How am I going to make money? Like, how am I going to be able to stay at home? Because it's either I go to work and figure out how to do what I do, or I come back come home, but I got to figure out how to make money from home. So it's either, something that I know where I make good money, or come home and figure out something new. And so that's when I was like, well, I guess I didn't really have a choice, right? So I went and I tried to figure out, okay, so how do I make money from home? And what had happened was I had gone back, and I remember I was in isolation one day. I just finished bathing. I was by myself in my little prison of a room, right? And when I was there, I was putting away clothes. I was cleaning up, basically. And in the corner of my room, there was this book. And I should have brought the book with me, but I didn't. So there's this book. You can see it in another video. But there's this book that I picked up. And it's a book that I've had for a while. There's actually some dust on it. It was pretty old. It's one of those things like, oh man, I should have been reading this the whole time. And the book it's a Russell Brunson book. But the book was called 30 Days. And what 30 Days is, for those who don't know, 30 Days is a book where Russell Brunson went out to all the people in his network that made over $1 million in a single funnel. And he asked them, why don't you guys go ahead and tell me, if you lost everything, what would you do to get your wealth back? What would you do to get your money back? If all you had was a ClickFunnels account, which is his software, and 2, an internet connection, how would you bring it back? And list step by step, day by day, what would you do? And as I was like, okay, so I opened the book and I started reading it. And I started reading profile for profile. I started reading about each of the different people and what they were doing. And I read about e-commerce funnel, selling physical products. I read about how to start like a webinar funnel. I read about how to do a live seminars. Like if I want to do live seminars, I read about info products. I read about how to make money with Facebook groups, like all the different types of funnels you could think of. And as I was reading them, what I noticed, I started to think back a few years ago now. God, I thought it was 2 years ago, but it's actually more. It's closer to 5 years ago now. When I was in the car industry. And what I used to do is that was where I first started building funnels. And a lot of the stuff that they were doing and they were talking about that they would do over the first 30 days is what I was doing to build my business in the car business. And I started to think back of, all the things I used to do about the lead generation and engagement and capture pages and ascension and value creation. All those pieces that I used to do, I used to build in. I used to have to find my pool. I have to create my audience and generate my avatar and figure out where they're fishing. And I used to do all of that. And some of it by mistake, but some of it I just did. And it was amazing as I was reading each and every one of these case studies, 30 of them, 30 millionaires that I got to read. Each case study, their patterns were very, very, very similar. And they were similar to things that I was doing years ago, before this book was ever written. And I sat there and I said, holy crap, I got it. It makes a ton of sense. And so the funny part with all of this was when I was in the car industry, just to give you an idea of what I would do, with the funnel I created, I would generate on average every month in profit for the company, not sales revenue. Sales revenue was probably over $200,000-300,000 in sales revenue for the company, because those are big ticket items that I used to sell. But profit-wise, we generate about $20,000 or $30,000 a month for the company, and then of that, I'd get paid my piece of it. But that was the crazy part. I'm like, oh my God, I was doing affiliate marketing live for that company for a long time. And I was consistently at the top. And it was all because of the first sales funnel I made. I actually made a phone funnel, which again is part of a high ticket funnel, which is another funnel that they went through and everything. And I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what I did. My point is this. What I did that night was I got really excited because I'm like, I can do this. This is exactly what I've been doing this whole time. And I've known how to do it. I just haven't put it into practice. And so what I did was I actually mapped out step by step what I used to do and everything. I lined it up and it created a framework. I then took my framework that I did and then I matched it to everything that I saw in the framework the consistent frameworks I saw in the $1 million funnels. And what I did was I saw there was so much overlap and there were some things that were different. So I erred on the side of what they do on the big funnels, on the $1 million funnels versus what I did, because mine was just a small income stream. But here's the crazy part. With all of that, with every single one of that, and as people just keep friending me, and I don't know how to turn off that notification, and the sound is going to keep coming in. I'm sorry about that. But, you know, with every single bit that I started to put down, I said, oh my God, this is it. This is the formula. And this is the framework. This is the exact same framework that allowed me to generate hundreds of thousands a month in revenue for the company and put, you know, 10,000 a month in my pocket. You know, it's funny, a bad month for me at that time was 7. And I know that's not a lot of money. To some of you guys, that's a lot of money. Some of you guys, that's not. But that was a bad month for me. And I make 15 on a good month, right? But that was the range that I was at because of the funnels that I had built, right? I didn't go out and stand on the point like most car guys and yell for ups. I built a website. I built a blog actually at the time. I'm not saying to go build a blog, but that's what I built, and I drove traffic to it. And my point is, I had the formula. And so what I did was I actually laid out the formula, put the plan together. And in the meantime, I started to get onto Facebook groups and I started sharing what I was sharing with people. And people were starting to take bits and pieces and taking. In fact, I was on a coaching call the other day, and a friend of mine who's in the e-commerce business, we had built a bunch of clarity for him in terms of what his avatar is about his customer, because he kept trying to sell products, random products, the things of what would make profit versus thinking about his customer and truly niching down so his customer would be an easy buy. See, the thing is, for me, I had to figure out that part on the car side. So I actually worked in a small niche. And this is before anybody ever told me about niches. I just did that by accident. I did that because that's the way I was thinking, right? And so that's what it is. So I continued to do that. So I helped him with that. And as I started to get on Facebook groups, I started to see a lot of people really struggle with certain pieces, with generating live traffic. That's one of the first things. The second thing people really, really struggled with is, how do I find a product to sell, right? Another thing was, how do I get people excited? How do I build a brand, right? How do I get people to look at what it is that I'm sharing? Like, how do I get people interested to buy what it is that I'm trying to sell? And that's when I really kind of dug in. And as I was teaching people piecemeal throughout this, I realized, man, I better put this all in something where I can give to people in its entire process from start to finish. And so what I did was I actually took my frameworks and took my layouts, and what I did was I built the site that I'm about to launch in a couple of days, the Affiliate Cash Framework. And the reason, and what it is, was as I was teaching people, I'm realizing, man, I could be charging for this, but I didn't. One, because even though I know the framework works because it's worked for me in the past, and I'm sharing it with people and it's working for them right now, what's not happening is the fact that I haven't actually put it out there in its entirety as, hey, this is the framework, let me go see what happens. So what I've done in the course, I've actually laid out from top to bottom all, right now I have 6 steps basically that you need to be able to help anybody. And the truth is, it's designed around affiliate products because I don't want to have people have to go build a product and think that I got to go build something. Go sell somebody else's product for now. In the same way I sold somebody else's product for the last how many years? I keep selling somebody else's product, but at the end of the day, what they become is your customer, and you can continue to take them on that customer journey up and up and up the ladder. The difference between right now is an affiliate marketer for a private company, or a salesperson for a private company, is those aren't my customers, right? I'm serving somebody else's customers. This is now my own customers that I can service and continue to serve and sell products to, and basically help them on their journey to get where they're at. And so what I've done is I've actually built the entire program, built the entire system, and it should be finishing up in about 2 days, and that's when we're going to launch it. So on April 30th of this year, we will be launching the Affiliate Cash Framework. It's going to be totally free to start. Now, whether or not I sell it in the future, I'm not sure, but I could easily probably sell it once I've had, I don't think it's ethical for me to sell it if I haven't tested it. So that's why I'm offering it for free for people to get in, try it, see how to implement what it is I'm teaching. I'm going to be starting a Facebook group to be able to allow coaching and reteaching of everything so people can get excited about it and get into it and really, really help them on their journey to start making money online. Once they're able to do this, all I'm going to ask you guys, if you guys can help me out, is send me testimonials, send me screenshots, send me successes that you guys have had. Because once you guys do that, then that'll determine whether or not I leave it for free or I go out and sell it, or maybe I'll put together something better that'll help you guys with that. But what that'll do is it'll give me some validation of the process that I have. And that's what it is. That's where I'm at right now. And as I'm building this, right, as I'm building this, I want you guys to come on the ride with me. I want you guys to enjoy every piece of it. And I really, really, really want you guys to make a ton of money with the things that I'm doing. Now, the truth is, there's going to be some stuff. If there's stuff in the program you don't like, let me know. I want to make it better. My goal is to build the best program designed to help you guys make money quickly. The best program designed to help you guys make money quickly. So that's what it is. That's what I put together, and that's what started the affiliate cash framework. Like, that's why I put it together, because it's designed around the frameworks that I learned while I was making money through funnels in the car industry, and how I took all the 30 days people, created the frameworks that work in there, and how I melded those together to be able to have a ton of success. So if you guys want, go ahead and click on the link below. It'll get you to pre-register if it's right now, and if it's in a couple days when it's live, go ahead and hit the link below and it'll take you to the live page. And I will see you there. I'm really excited to have you, and have a wonderful, awesome day. Aloha.